Hey guys, we want to say thank you to our sponsor, Carshield, for bringing you this episode. Make sure you check them out on the link below and use the promo code for 25% off your order. Used by all 32 NHL teams and players, Carshield is the premier protective player clothing designed by players for players. Their innovative cut-resistant clothing has prevented serious injury to numerous players, including over 30 NHL players. Cut Shield gives you the peace of mind to go out and play without worrying about injury. Use our promo code Grove City Hockey, all lowercase and no space, for an additional 25% off your order today.
Now carried it in back into goal.
That was a beautiful passing play right there, Sean.
What a save! Woo! Talk about a move.
Welcome to another exciting edition to Grove City Hockey Presents
Hockey in our neck of the woods, and you, sir, were a very talked about person towards the end.
I'm a fifth-year senior, well, it's my sixth year of college.
Welcome to GCH Podcast. I'm your host, Ben W. Stock, and with me is a very special guest. I've got Carshield's very own Nick Okada. Nick, how you doing, bud?
Good. Thanks for having me on. I appreciate it.
Yeah, no problem, man. You know, I know you had a little bit of a rough start there with the boy, getting him down, but you got him down. I know I had the same thing with my son, so this kind of worked out a little bit better.
Yeah.
So cool. So you were playing in MIHA earlier this year. Tell us a little bit about your MIHA experience with the CIncy Kings. You guys made it all the way to the ship, but you just fell just a little short in the finals to the Buffalo New Era.
Yeah. It was a good season overall. I'm glad that I was able to play a full season because I'm boys with all those CIncy Kings guys, and I've been trying to play for the past 3 to 4 years. And a couple of years ago, I was still playing ice hockey for University of Cincinnati, and then I started coaching, and then just didn't have as much time as I'd like to be able to make those tournaments. But this year provided me a little bit more time, and I was able to play with them all season, which was nice. But yeah, I mean, we lost one game in the first tournament that we played in Cincinnati.
Yep.
And then since then, we didn't lose a game until the final game that mattered the most.
Yeah.
But and it stung for me a little bit because it was against one of my good longtime buddies that I play with on Carshield, Jess Hackett.
Mm-hmm.
So he plays for that New Era team, and but it was it was a good season, but it was definitely one of those things that a little bitter at the end for sure.
Oh, for sure. Yeah, that was it was tough. Because you guys lost to the Fresh Coast that first tournament.
Yeah.
But you guys avenged them, later on in that same tournament. You actually came back and you guys throttled them pretty good. I think the final with that one was like 9-5 or something like that, whereas they only squeaked by you. You had an interesting MIHA finals with the round robin. You guys won. I think both your games were very close, right?
Against the Fresh Coast?
No, just in general, like the two teams that you played, because I think you played the Detroit Revolution and and one other. So who's the other team that I can't think of?
We played the Ontario team again.
The Sixers.
Yes.
Yeah, or the A team, as I like to call them.
Yeah.
I love Darby McKinnon and those boys. They're great guys.
Yeah.
So now tell us a little bit about Carshield. How did you end up on Carshield? Let's start there.
I mean, it was, a little bit of good fortune on my end, but also definitely some loyalty that showed. because our coach, George Brown, I've been playing with him for past probably 12 years. And I played with him on the very struggling years of excitement hockey that George started. Um, and even in our early years playing in the pro division with excitement, I was always with George. And a couple of years ago, things kind of fell in line with, Corey Hodge. He was kind of leading the charge, him and Ryan Perry. And they both knew and had played for George in the past. And it was kind of a venture to join the core of each team essentially, which Corey Hodge was mostly with Rink Rat a lot in that time, and but so it was we joined forces a little bit and kind of made a better overall team, a more consistent team, and it kind of took off from there. And I was fortunate to be a part of that for sure.
Yeah. So now you guys have some pretty interesting pickups. You guys added Matt Berry. You guys added Adam Ernie. Ernie is playing with the Detroit Red Wings. What's it like playing with an NHLer out there?
It's pretty cool. I definitely in the back of my mind realize what it's like and how cool it is. But at the end of the day, we're all competitive hockey players, and Ernie's a great, down to earth guy. Just like most NHLers, he's one of us, right? He's just another guy. He's just a little bit better at the game than most of us. But yeah, it's pretty cool. It's been really really fun and cool getting to know him as a person, and as a hockey player, and what gets him going, how he plays on the rink, and just interacting with him. It's been nice.
Yeah. So, and then you guys also picked up probably one of the best goaltenders in the world. That's ever laced up inline, for an inline, in the inline world with Troy Redmond. Tell me a little bit about that and how, is this the first time you're playing with him? I know you probably played against him a couple of times. What's it like having that veteran netminder in net to backstop you guys?
Yeah, I mean it's been great. I have played against him many times. There are a couple tournaments, tours tournaments where the snipers don't usually go to tours, but most of their team would go and play as a Carshield team.
Okay.
And so we played against him a couple times, and then we would play against him as a sniper, in Narch or State Wars at times, and it's much nicer, having him on my side behind the net or in the net for sure. But yeah, I mean it's been great. He's, he has that reputation for a reason. He's just very very good at what he does. Very sound. Very calm goaltender too. Like he doesn't get rattled very easily, and he's always got our backs. Just like he knows that we do our best to have his back and do what we can to help him out as well. So
that's awesome. Yeah, no, I had Corey on the pod I think last week, and he was talking about how just having such just a veteran netminder, behind him to help him, call his call outs. He said like his call outs were just like it helps me read the game so much easier. So it's really cool to hear about that. So now let's tell us a little bit about your tours experience. Just this past tours event, you guys went 4-0 during the round robin play. You guys actually blew through quite just about everybody. I think you had one close game, like it was less than 2 goals.
Yeah, I mean it was an interesting tournament for sure. We had, I think, definitely 2. I want to say maybe even 3 of our 4 games round robin were 4-1 score. but all of them were close in score. Some were definitely close in the game. But I know like the first game, we played a very gritty Blood and Feathers team. And they're a good hockey team, but I think we just struggled to score a little bit, and it was our first game, so we were trying to get our bearings under us. But I mean, overall, I think we played great. It was a good tourney, and that first playoff game was definitely a thrill for sure.
That woke you guys up.
Yeah,
yeah, that was close.
Yeah, and we knew, that. What was their name? I mean, they're the old like Border Cat team. A lot of the Border Cat.
Oh yeah, the Rage Cats.
Rage Cats. Yeah.
Yep.
But we knew they were a good team. Even in the round robin, we knew they were going to be a good matchup. And realizing in the playoffs and looking at the matchups, they were definitely, I feel like, better than a 7 seed for sure.
Mm-hmm.
But that's just the way the cards fell, and so we knew we were going to be in for a battle, and they definitely gave it to us for sure. But it was a good game.
Yeah. I think it was 3-2. I think was the final on that one.
Yep.
And it was overtime too, right?
Yep, 3-2. Yeah. We were down 2-0, and we had 3 straight goals, all 3 by Matt Berry, and one the tying goal was with like a minute left, shorthanded, which was pretty cool. Yeah, it was a cool moment.
Yeah,
we were going on the shorthanded play, and Barry had just been out there for a minute and a half, 2 minutes, and he looks at George and goes, "We kind of need a goal, right? So I'm going to stay out." And lo and behold, like a minute later, he gets a goal. So
he just buries it.
Yeah, it was pretty cool to see. It was a good game.
Yeah, and then your semifinal game against, I believe it was Black Ice, right? Or was it Pama?
It was Pama. Yeah.
Pama. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, and that one you guys kind of ran away with that one for a little bit.
Yeah, we came out really strong. We were up 4-0. They had 2 semi-late goals within like a minute of each other, which kind of woke us up a little bit. Made us take a step back and kind of realize that we were getting away from our game a little bit, and we had to lock things down. And fortunately, there was not enough time for them to, continue to make a comeback. But we were also able to lock it down with strong D and that very strong netminder presence.
Yep, for sure. And then in the finals, it was the Tour Roadrunners. You had to take on the daunting task of a 3-time Stanley Cup champion in Pat Maroon.
Yeah.
So, and I think didn't he score the game winner in the semifinal to kind of help push them in?
Yeah, I think he had all 3 points in the semifinal against Black Ice.
Yep. Yeah.
2 goals and the game winner. And yeah, he had the first 2 goals against us as well. But it's tough playing against someone like that for sure. There are definitely times where, not that we didn't respect him, but we just gave him a little bit too much space, and he burned us for sure. So.
Well, but I'll say this, and I would never say this to him in person, but watching him, he looked a little rusty on his skates. So probably maybe it could have been a little bit. Looks could be deceiving. He looked a little bit winded from time to time. So maybe that kind of you see that and you just kind of like, oh, okay, well he's not quite. And then, but he'll just. But when you're a player of that caliber, you can't really give him any space. Otherwise, he'll just make you eat it.
Exactly.
And that's essentially what happened. He could have been playing. I know, like when I'm playing softball, I'll kind of like limp up to the plate, and then just kind of have everybody just, oh yeah, no, we're just gonna do this and do that, and next thing you know, it's going right over their head. So
yeah, and that's that's the thing about him is. Sometimes it can be hard to see at the NHL level, but his his hands are so good, and he's so good in tight and making those little plays. And that's that's what separates him for sure.
Yep. So you guys came in second place there. Silver medal is not actually that bad considering that you guys had a lot of tough games there, and that those round robins. Then the playoffs is just as much. I think two of those games went into overtime.
The playoff, no, just one, just the first
Just
one.
the one, just the first one. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I mean, the second one was it started off in our favor, but it came down to the wire for sure.
Yeah. Well, you can't count out Pama. No matter what.
You cannot.
I mean, those guys, they just have such talent every year. They can be down a lot of goals, and all of a sudden they're up by 3, and it's just like, what just happened?
Yeah.
So, but you guys got Narch finals coming up this next week, right? On the 13th and 14th or something like that.
Yep.
13th through the 15th.
Yeah, a week from today, next Thursday.
Yeah. So, you know who you guys got the first round?
Yeah. We have the Roadrunners. We have Skittles. And then we have 2, I think, more West Coast teams, Hopa, Phoenix, and then I forget who the 4th team is, but
okay. You guys don't have Epic Society, do you?
I don't believe so. We might actually. I don't know.
Okay.
But it should be a good draw for sure.
Yeah. No, I'm excited to see how you guys do. So, now with this tournament coming up, do you have a team that you're looking forward to playing against? Do you have a team that you are kind of like, man, I really want to play them, but not until the finals?
I actually am looking forward to playing against Skittles. I don't think that we've ever played them, maybe once, but they're always because they're a rather younger team, but they're very talented. They play together a lot. They know each other inside and out, and they're always a very competitive, talented, skilled team. So I'm looking forward to playing them. As for, I think either Black Ice or Palma, those are teams that you want to find in the finals. Palma being, kind of their home court in a sense. But there's also, it'll be nice to play the Roadrunners in round robin. Hopefully we can get a little revenge on them from tours.
Yeah. Do you know if Pat is going to be playing for the tours or for the Roadrunners at Narch finals?
I don't know. He might, but at the same time, I'm not sure. I do know that it was, he knows those guys already, but it was, I think, from what I understand, he was somewhat of a last-minute addition.
Yeah, it surprised me when I was looking at the rosters before the tournament. I didn't see his name, and then all of a sudden, boom, there he was, and I was like, wait a minute.
Yeah.
I mean, it's still cool because it brings exposure to the sport, because I think they were even talking about it on ESPN.
They had it on NHL Network, and then NHL social media posted about it, and a bunch of other big hockey social medias posted about it. It was pretty cool. Yeah.
It's kind of nice to see roller hockey finally get some world-class exposure.
Yes.
I mean, this game is head and shoulders above what most people think it is. It's not like the grassroots, rinky-dink street hockey style. The talent and the passion and the skill level is insane nowadays compared to when I was playing. So it's really cool to see some love finally hitting us.
Yeah, for sure.
So cool. All right, man. Well, that's going to do it for this episode. You guys are going to be at State Wars after that.
Yep.
you guys, and that's in Fort Wayne, Indiana. I'm actually looking forward to that as well. That's just a couple hours just up the road from me. So I might make it down. I might not. I think that the baby's due
pretty
within
close,
a couple weeks of that. So it'll be tough to try to get away to go to that. But
Stewards usually does. They usually do a good job of streaming as well for the Pro Division. So
yeah, absolutely.
But
but like I said, well, this is going to do it for this episode of GCH Podcast. Nick, I want to thank you so much for taking the time. Say hi to CJ when you get a chance, okay?
I will. Yeah.
All right,
Thanks
man.
for having me on. I appreciate it.
Anytime, bud. Cheers.
All right. See ya.